Hey, it's still Monday, June 30th, 2025. I want to read this little excerpt from a group that I'm in on Facebook or that I follow. It's called the Harriet Tubman Group. But this is an account from a Miss Louisa Adams. She was interviewed in 1937, and she was a black woman, ex-enslaved person, and I guess that's a picture of her. I don't know how well you can see it based on this camera quality. Probably not at all, but you get the idea. I'm giving a voice to the ancestors. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. So, again, this is her account. My name is Louisa Adams. I was born in Rockingham, Richmond County, North Carolina. I was 8 years old when the Yankees come through. I belonged to Master Tom A. Covington. My mother was named Easter, and my father was named Jacob. We were all Covingtons. No, sir, I don't know where my mother and father come from. Solomon was brother number one, then Luke, Josh, Stephen, Asbury. My sisters were Jane, Frances, Wincy, and I was next. I remember's grandmother. She was named Lovey Wall. They brought her here from same place. My aunts were named. One was named Niecy and one was named Jane. I picked feed for the white folks. They sent many of the children to work at the salt mines where we went to get salt. My brother Solomon was sent to the salt mines. Luke looked after the sheep. He knocked down china berries for him. Dad and Mammy had their own gardens and hogs. We were compelled to walk about at night to live. We were so hungry we were bound to steal or perish, for those of you who say that the slaves were treated so wonderfully. We were so hungry we were bound to steal or perish. The only reason they stole was so that they didn't die, because their master starved them so much. This trait seems to be handed down from slavery days. Sometimes I think this might be so. Our food was bad. Master worked us hard and gave us nothing. We had to use what we made in the garden to eat. We also ate our hogs. Our clothes were bad and beds were sorry. We went barefooted in a way. What I mean by that is that we had shoes part of the time. We got one pair of shoes a year. When they wore out, we went barefooted. Sometimes we tied them up with strings, and they were so ragged the tracks looked like bird tracks where we walked in the road. We lived in log houses, daubed with mud. They called them the slaves' houses. My old daddy partly raised his chillins on game. He caught rabbits, coons, and possums. We would work all day and hunt at night. We had no holidays. They did not give us any fun, as I know. I could eat anything I could get. I tell you the truth, slave time was slave time with us. My brother wore his shoes out and had none all through the winter. His feet cracked open and bled so bad you could track him by the blood. When the Yankees come through, he got shoes. I was married in Rockingham. I don't remember when Mr. Jimmy Covington, a preacher, a white man, married us. I married James Adams, who lived on a plantation near Rockingham. I had a nice blue wedding dress. My husband was dressed in kinder light clothes, best I recollect. It's been a good long time since then. I sure do remember my master Tom Covington and his wife, too, Emma. The old man was the very neck. He would take what we made and allowance us. That is, allowance it out to my daddy after he had made it. My father went to Stephen Covington, Master Tom's brother, and told him about it, and his brother Stephen made him give father his meat back to us. My missus was kind to me, but Master Tom was the bugger. It was a mighty big plantation. I don't know how many slaves was on it. There were a lot of them, though. There were overseers, two of them. One was named Bob Covington and the other Charles Covington. They were colored men. I rode with them. I rode with them in the carriage sometimes. The carriage had seats that folded up. Bob was overseer in the field and Charles was carriage driver. All the plantation was fenced in. That is, all the fields with rails. The rails was 10 feet long. We drawed water with a sweeping pail. The well was in the yard. The mules for the slaves was in town. There were none on the plantation. They had him in town. They waked us time the chicken crowed, and we went to work just as soon as we could. No, we went to work just as soon as we could see how to make a lick with a hoe. You ever seen that picture of the baby in the cotton fields? It looked like a 2-year-old. It looked like a 2-year-old. Soon as you could carry, soon as you could. But that was great. That was great. You took us out. You took us from Africa, where we was happy and free, to put us over here. So much better. So much better. Lord, you better not be caught with a book in your hand. If you did, you were sold. And my soul remembers this. My soul remembers that. Whether it's passed down through my DNA or whether I had a past life as an enslaved person, which is what I truly believe. I remember that. That's why I fucking read everything. I read everything. And I read it over and I read it over and I read it over and over and over. Because I remember a time when you better not be caught with a book in your hand. If you did, you were sold. They didn't allow that. I can read a little, but I can't write. I went to school after slavery and learned to read. We didn't go to school but 3 or 4 weeks a year and learn to read. My dad used to say, his grandmother used to say, free school and dumb ninjas. Free school and dumb ninjas. You guys don't even want to go and learn how to read. Your ancestors couldn't. You were sold, sometimes killed. Do you know how precious reading is? If you did, you would do it. There was no church on the plantation, and we were not allowed to have prayer meetings. No parties, no candy pullings, no dances, no sir, not a bit. I remember going one time to the white folks' church, no baptizing that I remember. Lord have mercy. The patroller were on the place at night. You couldn't travel without a pass. We got few possums. I have greased my daddy's back after he had been whooped until his back was cut to pieces. He had to work just the same. When we went to our houses at night, we cooked our suppers at night, ate, and then went to bed. If fire was out or any work needed doing around the house, we had to work on Sundays. They did not give us Christmas or any other holidays. We had corn shuckings. I heard him talking of cutting the corn pile right square in two. One would get on one side, another on the other side, and see which outbeat. They had brandy at the corn shucking, and I heard Sam talking about getting drunk. I remember one woman dying. Her name was Caroline Covington. I didn't go to the grave, but you know they had a little cart used with horses to carry her to the grave. Just a one-horse wagon. Just slipped her in there. Yes, I remember a field song. It was, I don't know the tune, but the words, something like, oh, come let us go where pleasure never dies. Great fountain gone over. That's one of them. We had a good doctor when we got sick. He come to see us. The slaves took herbs they found in the woods. That's what I do now, sir. I got some herbs right in my kitchen now. When the Yankees come through, I did not know anything about them till they got there. Just like they were popping up out of the ground. One of the slaves was at his master's house, you know, and he said, the Yankees are in Chiraw, South Carolina, and the Yankees are in town. It didn't disturb me at all. I was not afraid of the Yankees. I remember they went to Miss Emma's house and went in the smokehouse and emptied every barrel of molasses right in the floor and scattered the cracklings on the floor. I went there and got some of them. Miss Emma was my missus. They just killed the chickens, hogs too, and old Jeff the dog. They shot him through the throat. I remember how his mouth flew open when they shot him. One of them went into the tater bank, and we chillin' wanted to go out there. Mother wouldn't let us. She was afraid of him. Abraham Lincoln freed us by the help of the Lord, by his help. Slavery was owing to who you were with. If you were with someone who was good and had some feelings for you, it did tolerable well. Yeah, tolerable well. Tolerable well. Tolerable. I don't give a fuck how good you treated. If you gonna sit there and own another person, you ain't no good. You just ain't no good. You just ain't no good. Tolerable well. No, don't give me no broccoli and tell me it's greens. Don't give me no slavery and tell me that it's better than where I would have been if I was free in my... Oh, Lord, Africa, I'm coming. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Abraham Lincoln freed us by the help of the Lord. By his help, slavery was owing to who you were with. If you were with someone who was good and you had some feelings for you, it did tolerable well. Yeah, tolerable well. We left the plantation soon as the surrender. We left right off. We went to going towards Fayetteville, North Carolina. We climbed over fences and were just broke down chillin', feet sore. We had a little meat, cornmeal, a tray, and Mammy had a tin pan. One night we came to an old house. Someone had put wheat straw in it. We stayed there. Next morning we come back home. Not to Mouster's, but to a white woman named Peggy McClinton on her plantation. We stayed there a long time. The Yankees took everything they could, but they didn't give us anything to eat. They give some of the women shoes. I think Mr. Roosevelt is a fine man, and he do all he can for us. And that was Miss Louisa's story. Part of it. Part of it. Miss Louisa Adams, may you rest in peace, along with all the other formerly enslaved people who then became poor sharecroppers and was promised life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Or no, I'm sorry, that wasn't promised to us. That was only promised to the white man who enslaved us. I'm sorry, my mistake. My mistake, America. But you want me to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. You want me to go to war and fight for you. I wish I would. I wish I would. Was Cedric the Entertainer? White people hope, black people wish. White people hope, and black people wish. I wish I would. And that's all for now.